G'day all, welcome back to the channel. I'm here at Dee Why Beach, not far from my home. I'm going to do a short but an interesting walk. I'm going to walk from Dee Why Beach to Cool Beach, which is the first beach south from Dee Why. It's a short walk, maybe just over a kilometer. I'm going to walk along the water, so I'm going to follow the rocks. But it's tricky, you can only do it when it's low tide. It is low tide, but we've got a strong wind, so it's a bit rough. And what it means is there are a few sections where the rock, where you walk almost at water level, and the rock is very slippery and it's very hard to get through, so I'm not sure if I can do it today. Check the tides. Alright, we just passed the lowest tide level and it's slowly going up, so I need to make my start now. Okay, so this is the proper start of the walk. You can see here all the cliffs, and we're basically gonna follow the cliffs. And the plan is all the way to Cool Beach. We've got predominantly sandstone here, which is quite grippy, but there are a few sections where the rock is kind of submerged on high tide, and it's formed some algae and makes it really slippery. Yeah, I think we're gonna struggle. The swell is too high. So it's all good here, but after a couple of 100 meters the rock drops down and it becomes very slippery. Here I know you can either go around this big boulder, this side, or you have to go over. Probably we can do we go around it today. But if tide is up, that is underwater, and that's a good indicator that you can't continue, because it becomes harder later on. This is the easy part. So this are the kind of rock I have to be mindful for. It's wet, anything that's dark is slippery. But I'm gonna go down here over this rock. So as I mentioned earlier, that is a way to get to the other side of this boulder. We're gonna look if I can actually walk that way. Yeah, it's slippery. Oh, water's coming in. If I have to come back this way, I definitely have to go over the rock, not over this rock shelf. So from memory, I have come through this here before. Looks really sketchy, but I think it's doable. All right, let's see how far we can get. I think I have to go back to the lower rock. Indeed, I'll do that here. Quite spectacular. See how wide that rock is over there. Fishermen and fisherwomen. Now this is where it becomes really tricky. We have to go over these boulders, go over that big one there. So it becomes really tricky there. You can see the rock drops down almost to water level. We're gonna have a look, but again, that might not be the end of today's trip. Looks like you can go down there. But as you can see, that rock is pelted by the waves. Guys, I think I'm calling it here. It's a little bit too rough. And I can get through this now. But if I have to turn, the tide is coming up. This is only getting worse. And I'm moving fairly slow. It's only a short distance, but I'm moving slow, so the tide is coming up. Well guys, I think this is my turning point. Unfortunately, I'm only maybe halfway or 1/3 into it. But the ocean is too rough at the moment, and I'm only 2 hours away from high tide. And if I have to turn further down, I'm going to struggle to get through this in a proper way. So I'm not going to take unnecessary risks today. I'm going to turn, come back in a few days when the ocean is quieter, and I'm starting a little bit earlier, pick up the low tide proper. I'm just exploring this little cave here. Pretty awesome. It's actually a bit deeper than I expected. There's a good look. Oh, it's slippery. Let's see, it continues. I hope there's enough light coming in for the GoPro. Goes down a little bit. It'll be in it. Let's go down the GoPro. I can see it continues for at least another 20 or 30 meters. Obviously it becomes smaller and smaller. Passage. Very spectacular. Alright, let's go back. We're back at this tricky point here. So it came around that rock from that side. And I mentioned there's a way to go over it, at least that I don't remember. So we're gonna explore that now on the way back. Boulders. obvious way up, slightly that way, standing there, give you some handhold. Yeah, you need 2 hands for this one. Wow. Right guys, that's the end of the walk. So I'm back here at Dee Why Beach. That's just behind me. That's where we started this morning. Unfortunately, couldn't make the whole traverse from Dee Why to Kill. There were a few factors that were not favourable, so I made the call to turn. The one thing to consider obviously is I started the walk a little late. I already passed 2 hours, the lowest point in low tide, and the water was coming up. Where I turned, I was about 2.5 hours, maybe 2 hours away from high tide. And as you could see, that was really the point where there are at least 3 areas where the water goes over the rock, where it built up a lot of algae and very slimy, slippery substance, so it's tricky to get through. I had once to go around, swim around it, which again was very tricky considering the tidal movement. But that's all for now guys. There will be a part 2 when we will continue and complete the traverse, and I hope you will join me for that one.